Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Bree and welcome to FemFusion, your home for core and pelvic floor friendly fitness and yoga. I have a routine for you that is something that I often crave, which is a longer routine. So this one's gonna go long and it's gonna be deep. I am gonna show options for different levels, and you might wanna have a strap handy and yoga blocks handy if you are more of a beginner. But I am gonna tell you this routine is maybe a little bit more intermediate. So if you're brand new to yoga, then check the video description, the video notes, for a Yoga for Beginners series. That might be a better place for you to start, where you can get some basics with basic poses and really know how to get those basic postures down first. If you're looking for something shorter, then definitely check the video notes as well. But if you're looking to get deep, stretching and strengthening, particularly the hips and the hamstrings, then this is the one for you. So let's go ahead and begin in a wide-kneed child's pose. And I'm gonna tell you that at the end, I'm gonna have an optional tennis ball massage for your glutes. So if you have a tennis ball or a yoga ball, of course, a little massage ball here, then that is ideal. But if you don't have them, don't worry about it. You don't need them. So begin in a wide-kneed child's pose. Feet together and knees apart. Now, if your knees are too far apart and it hurts your back, then just bring them a little closer together. So come down. Take some deep breaths and just let go. Work your hips toward your heels, wiggle into it if you need to. I am a big proponent of moving and finding what feels really delicious and good in your body. Now walk your right hand out to the right and bring your left hand so that your left hand is on top of the right. Really sit back onto your heels if you can and feel that nice left side body stretch. We're going to be taking our flows slowly, and we're going to be holding our poses for between 3 to 5 breaths in many cases. So relax into them. Last breath in and out. And then crawl your hands over to the left. Place your right hand on top of your left and feel that nice right side body stretch. Sitting back onto your heels. Play with the angle. Just move the way it feels good in your body. See where you can feel the stretch the most. And then hold it there. Last breath. And then crawl your hands back to the middle. Fingers spread nice and wide. Press into the balls of your finger, the knuckles of your hand, and also your fingertips. Spread your fingers out wide. Try not to put too much pressure on the back of your palm, in this base of your palm area. So spread your fingers out wide, knees under your hips, and cat and cow. Breathing in, and then exhale. Lift your belly button toward your spine. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, belly button to spine, cat pose. One more time. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, belly button to spine, cat pose. Now sit back onto your heels briefly, and we're going to move into deer pose or a staggered leg pose. So you want your left foot, for me it's my left foot, is in front of me, shin parallel to the top of the mat. And then on this side, this shin, my right shin, is parallel to the side of my mat. We're gonna get right into the strengthening and also the stretching of our hips right away, working the gluteus, medius, and minimus, these side hip muscles deep in there. So lift your chest. You can place your hands to either side of the left leg, the bent leg, and engage your core. Lift the right leg off the floor a couple of inches. Just hover it, and you are gonna feel it right here strongly. Try not to lean too far to the left with your trunk. It's using those hip and butt muscles to lift that leg. Hold it for 3 more breaths. The breaths might be a little bit faster right now. Lift it. 1 more inhale and exhale. And set it down. Oh my gosh, you might need to straighten out that leg. That's okay. We are getting very deep today. Now, bend right back to where you started. Inhale, straighten your spine, and exhale, twist to the left. This is not a deep twist, it's still an easy, easy twist. One more inhale and exhale. And then look your head forward. Come onto your elbows. You can also be up on your hands if needed, but see if you can come onto your elbows or onto blocks. Now you might need to adjust, shimmy yourself into the position, and that's okay. Try to keep your forearms parallel and equal weight pressing into both forearms. So I find that my body wants to press more into my left side, but try to make it equal into the left and right forearm. Again, you can have your forearms up on yoga blocks, or you can also just be on your hands. You don't have to be on your elbows at all. And the next inhale, see if you can lift your heart forward. So you might find that you're kind of rounding into this, but see if you can lift your heart forward on the inhale. And then hold it. One more inhale and exhale. And then come on up and walk your hands back and switch to the other side. Take a minute to just windshield wiper out your legs between the 2 sides. And let's go on to the other side. So now my right shin is parallel to the front edge of the mat, and my left shin is parallel to the side of my mat. So let's start with that leg lift. So lifting the left leg, hands go around either side of the right bent leg, strong and lifted through the pelvic floor and the rest of the core, and lift that leg off the floor. Oh my gosh. Whoo, you can feel it in those side hip muscles deep. We are holding this for 3 to 5 breaths, and our breaths might be coming a little faster as we do this work. So let's see if we can hold it for 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths, steady, calm, cool and collected. One more breath, holding that leg, shin parallel to the floor. And set it down. Stretch out the leg if you need to. Shake it out a little bit. Maybe pound out your hip with your hand. And then inhale, straighten your spine. Exhale, twist to the right. This is an easy twist. It's not your deepest twist. So nice and easy. You still want to inhale and lift and exhale and twist, but don't worry about going so far. We're just getting started. Now look your head forward and come down onto your bent elbows or onto your flat hands, or you can also have yoga blocks under your elbows. Sink into this pose, equal weight into your forearms, both forearms. Try not to dump weight into one forearm or the other. And on your next inhale, really shine that heart forward. And then come on up onto your hands and cross your feet, hands on the ground, come up into a standing position. Roll it up one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. Cat spine up, knees are soft, and then roll the shoulders back. Take your time with this. Make it slow and easy. And we're gonna move into a side body stretch, one that I love. So shake it all out, let it all go, and you're gonna cross one leg behind the other. So right leg for me behind my left. Right leg is behind my left. Right arm up toward the ceiling and left hand on the hip. Side bend so you really feel a nice stretch along the side of the body. Stay right where you are. I'm just gonna turn so you can see me facing forward. So still it's my right leg behind my left and my right arm is up toward the sky, jutting my hip a little bit more out to the right so I can feel that side body stretch. But just make sure that you're not collapsing inward. You want to open through the heart and the shoulder. One more deep breath in and out. And now reach your hand toward the left. Reach, 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 reach. Engage your pelvic floor and low abs gently, and then hold it. Exhale, down and around, and see if you can now touch the ground. Feet are facing forward. Right foot is still behind the left. So this is my right side, it's behind the left. And I want you to play with this right here. You can have your hands on yoga blocks if needed. But play with shifting forward and back and see where you feel the stretch the most, where your body wants to feel it the most. I'm gonna show you from the side now. So right foot is behind the left and you are forward. Again, you can have your hands on blocks. Just make sure that you are feeling the stretch, where you wanna bias it toward. If you wanna bias it more toward your IT band and this side of the leg, you might shift forward or back. If you want to feel it more in the hamstrings, you might shift forward or back. Just find that sweet spot where it feels so delicious. Make sure you're breathing. Let your head hang. And then bend both knees and round it up. Roll the shoulders and same exact thing other side. So now my right foot is in front and my left foot steps behind the back. So left foot is behind, right foot is in front. Inhale, left arm up Exhale, nice and, zipped up so you're stable through the core. And exhale, side bending. I'll show you from a different view, but I'm not changing my feet. I'm just showing you from a different view so you can see that nice side stretch. Try not to fall inward on yourself. You want to open up. Maybe even look up if your balance can handle that. If your balance can't handle that, then that's okay. Look down. Inhale. And then exhale, reach your hand to the right. So reach it to the right and then lift the pelvic floor and low abs in and up, and exhale more as you come down toward the floor. Holding this nice stretch. Your hands can be up on blocks or on the mat. I'm going to turn, so I'm showing you from the side. Same foot position. My left foot is still behind my right. And see what feels best to you. Shift a little bit forward and back. See where you feel this stretch. It's going to be different for everyone depending on where you're tight. It might feel different between the two sides. And that's okay. That's why we're doing this, is so we can balance everything out. Remember to use yoga blocks if you need to. Never throughout this practice hyperextend your knee. If you feel like it's too much, then put a little micro bend in your knee of the leg that feels like it's too intense in the back. It's better. You don't want to hyperextend your knee. You don't want to injure yourself or strain any muscles. Micro bends of the knees are okay. And blocks are definitely okay. Finish up, bend your knees, round it up one vertebra at a time, roll out the shoulders, and shake out the legs. We're gonna move into a downward dog with a foot drop from side to side to really feel it in the IT bands. So come onto your hands and knees. Spread out your hands really wide like starfish. Again, you're more toward the front of the hands, not dumping into the base of the palm. Not so much back there. That'll hurt your wrist. So arms nice and wide. Walk your knees back a little bit. Tuck your toes under. Lift belly button to spine on the exhale. Engage your pelvic floor and press back into downward dog. Walk your feet so they're hip width distance apart. And press into your hands. So you don't want to be forward like this, but you also don't want to be like super hyperextended like this. You just want to be pressing into your hands, lifting your bum toward the ceiling. Your knees can be bent. Deep breath. Walk out your dog a little bit more, bending one knee at a time, pressing into those widespread hands. And now let's do the foot drop. So come up onto your tiptoes and then drop both of your feet to, we'll start with the right. So both of your feet are dropping toward the right. Now press back. Don't let your whole body sag to the right. You still want to press back with your hips and just see where you feel this stretch. Again, play with it. Don't be afraid to move around a little bit and explore where you feel the stretch. Just make sure that your body's never sagging like this. We want to always be pressing the hips up toward the ceiling, but feeling this in different areas where both of your feet are dropped to the right. Now pivot on your toes and then drop both of the feet to the left. Again, play with positioning here. Press your hips back. Don't let yourself fall forward like this. We want to press the hips back and up and feel into this stretch. Downward dog with rotated feet. You'll feel it in the side of your legs. For me, right now, I feel this strongly right here, the outside of my right hip. One more time, dropping to each side. So recenter your feet, drop to the right. We're just gonna hold it for a breath. And then middle and drop to the left. And come onto your knees. Sit back on your heels, crawl yourself up, roll out your wrists. It's a lot of work on your wrists. And we're gonna move into a variation of moon salutations. So shake out your arms, roll out your shoulders, and carefully come up to a standing position. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Come to the front of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Exhale and lift your pelvic floor and fold forward as you exhale all the way down. Inhale, hands on your shins, tabletop position with your back. Exhale, belly button to spine, lift your pelvic floor and fold. Right leg back, right foot on the right side of the line, left foot on the left side of the line if you have a line like I do. Set your back knee down. Hook your thumbs and inhale up into Crescent Lunge. Try to make your hips fairly level. You don't want them dumping too much here. You want to be level with your pelvis and lifted through your heart. Now exhale, hands down, step back into downward dog. Breathing. Breathing is so important. It helps manage your intra-abdominal pressure, so important for your pelvic floor health. You're never holding your breath. Now, strong through the left leg. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, pull knee to chest and step the right foot forward. Try to land with the heel first. Come down onto your back knee. Crescent lunge on the other side. Inhale, arms up. And exhale. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step left foot to right. Bend the knees, wing your arms up, and hands at your heart. Deep breath in and out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down, lift your pelvic floor, pull belly button to spine. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold and left foot back. Knee down, hook your thumbs, Crescent Lunge, inhale. Exhale, hands down. Step back. Hold it here, downward dog position. Spread out your fingertips, spread out your fingers. Press into the fronts of your hands, the knuckles of your hands. Strong through the right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, knee to chest, look forward, step that left foot forward, back knee down, hook your thumbs, Crescent Lunge. Hold it here for one more inhale. And hands down. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step the right foot to join the left. Bend your knees. Inhale, your arms up. Exhale, hands at your heart. We're going to go through it again on each side, but just one breath per movement. So, inhale, arms up. Exhale, lift your pelvic floor, pull belly button to spine, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold, step right foot back. Inhale, hook your thumbs. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, knee to chest, step that foot through, back knee down. Inhale, hook your thumbs, arms up. Exhale, hands down, step forward. Inhale, wing your arms up. Exhale, hands at your heart, breath in and out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, lift pelvic floor, pull belly button to spine as you wing forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, left foot back. Inhale, hook your thumbs, crescent lunge. Exhale, step back into downward dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to chest, step forward. Inhale, hook your thumbs. Exhale, hands down, step your right foot forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands at your heart, deep breaths. One more deep breath in and out. Feel your heart starting to beat a little bit faster. Now, step your legs wide into warrior two foot position. Heel to arch alignment. Wide legs, bend deeply into that front knee. Hold it here. Pelvic floor is lifted. Your core is nice and strong and engaged. Strong and lifted. Arms wide out to the side. Strong warrior arms. Don't let your low back arch like this. We want to be lifted and engaged. Lift that back arm just a little bit if you find that it's drooping. This is such a great strengthener for the pelvic floor. So one more breath in and out. Now, back hand down, inhale, arm up, and then exhale, side angle. You can have your arm up or biceps alongside the ear. If you want to have your hand a little lower, you can absolutely come down lower. One more breath in and out. And then strong through the core on the inhale, come back to warrior two, straighten that front leg, heel toe the back foot in, and we're gonna do triangle dance. So this front hip is gonna come in. Tick-tock your foot, your hip in, and then back, and in, and back, and in, and back. One more time, in, and back. This time, hold it. So your hip is coming in, this hip is going out, and you are reaching this arm forward, and come down. You can have your hand up on a block, or on your shin lightly, or you can have it palm forward, really using more of your core for stability. I like to place my hand lightly on the shin. Make sure that you're not hyperextending this front knee. There can be a slight micro bend if needed. You want to think about lengthening the side bodies. And think also about leaning slightly back. Pretend like I'm behind you and you're leaning your upper back and the back of your head into me. So I'm there for support, or a wall is there for support, however you want to think of it. But it's all too easy to sort of fall forward, and we want to open, press back. One more breath and really press into the outer edge of that back foot as well. Now, look down if you were looking up, hands down and bend the front knee. Warrior one position with your feet. So my right foot is now on just the outside of this line. Front knee is bent. Back foot is 45 degrees. Inhale, look forward, and then exhale. Straighten that front leg. Inhale, look forward. Bend the front knee. Exhale, straighten the front knee. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, straighten. You can have blocks under your hands for this. In fact, I recommend it. Inhale, bend. And exhale, straighten. We're gonna hold this pyramid pose right now. So make sure your feet are comfortable distance apart. You might need to widen your stance just a little bit, and that's okay. But we wanna be straight through the front leg. Absolutely use blocks if needed, so that your spine is straight and not rounded. If it's rounded, you're not gonna feel it back here so much, you're gonna feel it in your back. We wanna straighten the spine, and then you're really gonna feel it in the front leg hamstring. Make sure everything in your body is facing forward. It's all too easy to open up out to the side like this. We wanna be hips facing forward. So that's why if you need to move your left foot to the left and your right foot to the right just a little bit, if your hips are wider, that's okay. One more breath in and out. Feel the deliciousness of that stretch of the front leg. For me, it's the left leg, the straight leg. And then if you had blocks, remove them. Bend the front knee, step the left leg back. We're gonna go into an easy twist. So right hand on the ground, left arm sweeps across your body. Pull your belly up and lift into an easy twist. Deep breath in and out. And now back, knee down. You're gonna sit back in a nice half split. So again, you can have blocks, and I recommend it if you're at all tight through the hamstrings, have blocks. Hold it here and just breathe. Or if you want a little bit of a different experience, you want a little more maybe, you can flatten out your back foot and carefully sit back onto your heel. Try to keep your pelvis level. You can place a block under your left hip and bring your hands out behind you. Lean forward, hinging at your hips. Remember, you can still be up in the position that we started in, and hopefully using blocks if you have any tightness at all. This right here is a deep hamstring stretch for the left leg, for me, the front leg, and it's also a quad stretch and an ankle stretch for this right leg. Now, if you're in this position with me, come up into a seated position, right arm up toward the sky. Inhale, exhale, belly button to spine, and twist, holding that right hand onto the outer edge of your left foot. Now you feel kind of an IT band side hip and leg stretch on the left side as well as a hamstring stretch. One more breath in and out. And wherever you were, bend that front knee, heel toe the left foot so that it's now under you. Hands in knees position. Take a little moment to swirl out your hips. I like to call this naughty cat. You can call it creative cat if you want to just get creative with your movements. Just swirl it around, be free and easy. And shake it all out. One mini cat-cow so you can feel both extremes, the arch and the round. And then find the middle position. The neutral position. Hands are spread nice and wide. Lift belly button to spine on the exhale. Make sure your pelvic floor is also engaged so your whole inner core unit is nice and strong. And left leg back behind you. Right arm in front of you. Either hold it here, or you can add in some knee to elbows. So exhale, pull belly button to spine. Inhale, 3 times total. Exhale, inhale, just one more time. Exhale, inhale, hold it here. And now diagonals out to the side. Breathe steadily. The only thing moving is your arm and your leg. Your trunk is totally still. Hold it here. Bend this back knee. If you want to, bring your arm around, grab onto the outer edge of the foot, thumb is pointing up toward the ceiling, and lift. Nice quad stretch. Try to make your chest face forward. One more deep breath in and out. And without shotgunning your foot down, release gently with control and sit back. Let your hips rock side to side. Walk your hands up, tuck your toes under, and then wing your arms up and walk back to the front of your mat. Same thing, other side. So, step wide out to the side, warrior two. Strong through the pelvic floor, lifted through the pelvic floor and core, so you're not like this. Your lifted front knee is right over your ankle. Sink into the position, arms nice and wide. Your back arm might need to lift up a little bit. I often find that mine is down here. Press into the outer edge of your back foot. Sinking into it a little bit more. Stretching and strengthening the hips. One more breath in and out. Lifted through the arches, strong through the feet. Now, inhale, reverse warrior, and exhale, side angle pose. Arm can be on your thigh, or you can have your hand down. Maybe use a block if you need to. You can have your arm up or overhead. Open your heart toward the side wall. Now strong and lifted through the pelvic floor and core. Inhale carefully back. Straighten out the front leg. Heel toe your back foot in a little bit. Arms out to the side wide and triangle dance. Deepen that hip crease in the front hip. This time hold it, reach that front arm forward. Your sides are getting long, and then come down into your triangle. Use a block, have your hand on the shin, or have your hand palm facing forward, so you're really using your core to keep yourself up. Again, there can be a tiny micro bend in this front knee. I don't want you to hyperextend and hurt your leg, of course. You can be looking up toward the ceiling or down toward the floor. But I want you to feel like you could lean your head and your back of your shoulders and the back of your upper back into me or into the wall so that you're not rounding forward. You're actually straight, like your body's between two sheets of glass, one in front of you and one behind you. Don't be afraid. Trust yourself and press into the outer edge of that back foot. Lengthen both side bodies, side waist here and side waist here, lengthen them. Inhale and then exhale, bend the front knee, hands down. You might need blocks. We're gonna go into our pyramid. So move your right foot out just a little bit and step your left foot into warrior one foot position. So 45-degree angle at the foot. Front knee bent, inhale. Exhale, straighten. It's like you're laying your chest on your thigh. Inhale, and then exhale, straighten. Inhale, heart forward, bend that front knee. Exhale, straighten. One more time, inhale. And then exhale, straighten. Now let's hold our pyramid pose. So remember, Your hips are square facing forward. Everything in your body is facing forward. You're not opening out to the side like this. You're facing forward. So maybe you need to widen your stance just a little bit. That's okay. And definitely use yoga blocks if that helps you keep your back straight and hinging at the hips. We don't want rounding at the spine. So even if you have to have a micro bend in that front knee, that's better than being all roundy and hunchy at the back. So, hold it here. Now, remove your blocks if you are using them. Come into an easy twist, low lunge position, left hand on the ground, right arm helps bring your belly up, and arm goes up toward the sky. Look up. Oh, breathing. And get ready to come into the half split. So hand down, back knee down, and back into that half split position. Again, you can use blocks. You want your hips facing forward, bottom sticking back, spine nice and long, hinging at your hips, not rounding at your spine. It can be helpful to touch those toes down toward the ground, internal rotation at the hip, and then scoop your hip under you. That can help. Now, if you want more, like on the other side, back feet down and sit back onto your back heel. Hands behind you and hinge forward. Now inhale, left arm up toward the sky. Exhale, pull your belly button to your spine, lift your pelvic floor, and come into that deep twist, holding onto the outside of your foot. Inhale, arm up wherever you were, even if you were still in half split. Bend that front knee, heel toe the foot all the way around into your hands and knees. One cat-cow, so you can feel each extreme, and then find that middle position. Belly button lifted toward your spine and pelvic floor engaged, so you're super strong through the core. Right leg back, left leg forward. Either just hold it here, or you can add the knee to elbow 3 times. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, hold it. Now diagonals out to the side 3 times. Slow and controlled. Keep breathing. Your core is strong and steady. The only thing moving is your leg and your arm. And then hold it back at midline. If you did on the other side, bend that back knee, loop your hand around. You can also use a strap for this, but we won't be holding it long. So you're holding onto the outer edge of the foot, thumb up toward the ceiling, chest is forward. Try not to let the knee wing way out to the side. Slight micro bend in that front arm, elbow. And then knee down, don't slingshot that foot down. You want to do it with control and sit back. Deep breaths. Think of all the good you're doing for your body. You're doing amazing things for your balance, your stability, your strength, and your flexibility. So walk up, tuck your toes under, Wing your arms up and come to the top of the mat. So shake it all out, roll out your shoulders, and I am going to move. You can stay right where you were. I'm just gonna face in different directions so you can see what's going on. We are gonna begin with a pose where you actually hold on with your 2 peace fingers around your front toes. Inhale, lift your heart, and then exhale, lift pelvic floor, pull belly button to spine, and come forward. So my right fingers are around my front big toe, my right big toe. Engage your pelvic floor. You might need a block under your hand, and that's totally fine, or you might not. You're gonna lift your pelvic floor, strengthen your core, lift your right foot up, and your whole leg is plugging up and into the hip socket. Strong and rooted through the left leg. You're gonna lift that right leg out to the side 3 times. Try not to tip your whole body away from that moving leg. Try to be strong and steady through the core and pelvic floor. You have to be strong through the pelvic floor to hold your balance. And then release. Shake out your knees, shake out your head, and switch sides. Left peace fingers around the left big toe. Inhale and exhale, and then lift that straight leg up, plugging the left hip into the left hip socket. Strong through the core. 3 times you lift the left leg up and down. Try not to tip your whole body away from that moving leg. It's just the leg going up and down. If you lose your balance, that's okay. We're gonna have one more opportunity to practice that. Shake out one leg at a time. Bend both knees, round it up. Roll out the shoulders. And strong and lifted through the core. Right knee comes up and bend into tree pose. Left leg is your staple standing leg. So you may need to be here, or you can lift and come all the way up above your knee. You don't ever want to be on the knee joint itself. Press that knee out to the side, and I'll show you from the correct position on the mat. Think about growing strong through the standing leg. You don't want the hip to jut out to the side. You want to be strong through that standing leg and pressing out with this right knee. Lifted through the core, engaged, arms come up. Two more breaths. Shoulders down, arms up. Lifted through the pelvic floor and core, strong through that standing leg, and exhale. Now with control, bring the right knee forward, straighten the leg, hold it strong through the core, and now bend, cross the right ankle on the left thigh. Now hands at your heart, and you can come down, sitting into kind of a modified pigeon pose. This is a variation of pigeon, actually. It's kind of also a chair pose, but you're gonna feel this, a deep hip stretch in the side hips. Now you can hold it right here, engage through the core, long through the spine, or if you want more, you can hug that bent leg like a baby, wrap it around, and sit a little lower with your hips. Two more deep breaths, wherever you are. Last breath in and out. Now with control, come up, knee to chest. Oh, so much work through the standing leg. Come back, warrior 3. And then like you're stepping onto a cloud, carefully and slowly, warrior 1. Arms up. You want to have the nice arch in your back foot. Keep that arch, don't let your foot collapse. Press through the outer edge of the back foot. Hold it, one more breath. Strong through the core. And now hands clasped behind you. Inhale, up, exhale, humble warrior. Think about drawing your left shoulder to the inside of your left knee. 2 more breaths. Inhale, come up. And exhale, warrior 2 foot position. Strong through the legs. And then hands dive forward. You're gonna have to play with position of your feet and also your arms. You can put your arms here or more here, but I want your knee to stay over your ankle. Don't let it fall in. We wanna keep the knee over the ankle and maybe lean your hips back just a little bit. Maybe press them back. Just play with this. Keep breathing. Swirl yourself around with this. See what feels good. Move slowly and deliberately. Keeping that nice alignment. And this is a very deep hip stretch. Now crawl your hands back, come back into a low lunge. So left foot is on the left side of the line, right foot is on the right side of the line. In this low lunge, I want you to bring your left toes up toward the ceiling, and then you're gonna have to work your left knee kind of under your arm, and your left foot is gonna turn out. Come onto the outer edge of this left foot here, the outer edge. Your hands can be wherever's comfortable, but this is sort of another variation on Pigeon Pose. Your back knee can be off the ground. You can play with it being on the ground too, whatever feels good to you, but I'm gonna keep my back knee off the ground. Again, I'm on the outer edge of my left foot, and my left knee is coming down to the side. Breathe steadily. 2 more breaths. My fingers are in a tent. Now, bring your foot back and your knee back so you're in that low lunge again. You have to kind of come under your armpit on the left side. You're gonna come into the easy twist again. Right hand on the floor, left arm can help sweep your belly up and over so you're in the easy twist. Now strong through your core, pelvic floor lifts, belly pulls in. Use your core muscles, maybe widen your stance a little bit to come in on an exhale to a twist, looking toward the left, arms wide. Hold it. One more breath. And then hand down, right hand down, back into the easy twist, and hands down. Back knee comes onto the mat, and you're gonna heel toe that left foot into a nice pigeon pose, regular old pigeon. You can put a block under your left hip for support, if that helps you, or maybe even 2 blocks. But what I want you to do is feel that you're not letting this happen. You're not tipping over to the side. You're squaring your pelvis toward the mat. Make sure also that your right foot, your right leg is behind you and not coming out to the side. Now, this next part is optional and you may want a strap for it, but we're gonna do a twisted pigeon. So if you want to, bend up your back knee, and then you're gonna use, this is my right leg is bent, my left hand comes forward and then around, holding on to the outer edge of the back foot. Thumb up toward the sky. That just opens the shoulder and prevents it from dumping in. Try to square your chest forward as much as you can. Stay lifted through the pelvic floor so that you're strong and engaged through the core, and your belly muscles are turned on, your deep abs are turned on. These muscles act like a seat belt that help protect your back. If you let those muscles go, your deep core, your back is gonna crunch and it's gonna hurt. So one more deep breath. Again, you can be using a strap around your back foot if that's better for you. And then carefully release. Come forward and take an inhale, exhale, fold. Maybe onto your elbows, maybe all the way down. Take 2 more breaths. One more breath. And then come back up. And one more variation of this pigeon. So same thing, bend up the back leg. This is an option, you don't have to do this. You can grab the strap again and put it around your foot, or if you have the flexibility, you can bring the foot into your elbow crease, into the crook of your elbow. Just make sure that the knee has not drifted out too far to the side. Keep the knee back and try to square your chest forward. Engage through the pelvic floor and the low abs so you're not dumping into your low back. And deep breaths. This is a lot. You always want to push to your edge, but never past your edge. One more deep breath in and out. And without slingshotting that foot down, release the foot. And you're gonna come back into a downward dog. Now this is always a lot of work. This left hip has been working really hard to relax. It's been working to relax. So it's gonna be a little stiff. You wanna exhale, lift belly button to spine, and just ease into that downward dog. Definitely walk your dog. And we're gonna do one vinyasa flow, but I like to do the vinyasas from my knees. I don't like to do a chaturanga so much. So if chaturanga is something that you are good with, then go for it. But otherwise, you're gonna come forward, knees down, and elbows at your sides. Inhale, baby cobra. And then exhale, downward dog. And then just walk your feet forward. Bend your knees, wing your arms up, hands at your heart. Take a moment to integrate. And same flow, other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, lift your pelvic floor, pull belly button to spine and come down. Maybe just bend one knee at a time for a moment. You can have a block under your right hand this time, if you'd like, but we're gonna start with our left side, 2 peace fingers around the left big toe, strong through the core. Again, you can have a block under this hand. Lift that hip. Plug that left hip into the left hip socket, and 3 times, see if maybe you can do it better this time. Lift that leg, and then straight down. Lifting the leg, don't hold your breath. You wanna breathe, whatever way that feels good to you. One more time. Control, go slow. Try not to tip your whole body. And release, bending one knee at a time. Letting your head go. Same thing other side. Again, use a block if you need to. 2 peace fingers around the right big toe now. Strong through the core. And 3 times, slow. Maybe you can go a little higher with the leg this time. Last time. Oh gosh. Bending one knee at a time. Bend both knees, round it up 1 vertebra at a time. And we're gonna move into our tree pose. So standing on a right leg, left knee bends. Place the left heel on the other foot, or the left foot on the other calf, or grab that foot and put it onto the leg. For me, this is my right leg. This bent leg is my left leg. press the bent leg out to the side and lift through the standing leg. Don't let it jet out. You want to use your muscles to lift. Hold it here, strong through the pelvic floor, low abs, arms up overhead. Shoulders relaxed. Arch lifted on the standing leg. Now hands to heart, and you are going to straighten that left leg in front of you, strong through the core, hold it, and then bend, crossing your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Sit back into a variation of Pigeon Pose. Bottom headed straight back and not cocked out to the side. You want it straight back. You can hold it here, spine nice and long, trying to keep your balance, and it's okay if you sway, it's okay. Or if you want a little bit more, you can wrap your arms around like a baby and sit your bottom down a little bit lower. This is a deep, deep hip stretch and a leg strengthener, of course, for the standing leg. One more breath in and out. Now come up and bring that left knee up toward the chest. And then warrior three legs. And then like you're stepping back onto a cloud, warrior one, gentle and with control. If your body is shaking a little bit, that's okay. Mine is too. I've been working hard. Lift your arms up toward the ceiling. Don't dump into your low back. You want to be lifted. Bend strongly through that front leg. Press into the outer back edge of your foot. Strong through the core. Now hands clasped behind you. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, humble warrior. Right shoulder to the inside of the right knee. Two more deep breaths. One more deep breath. Now inhale, come up, and exhale, feet into warrior two foot position, wide stance. You're gonna bring your arms forward, maybe diagonal, maybe straight out in front of you, but just make sure that this knee stays over the ankle, it doesn't come in. You wanna keep that knee pressing out, press into the outer edge of that back foot, and shift your hips. See what feels best to you. See what arm position feels best to you and what hip position feels best to you. When you find whatever feels yummy, then hold it there. And now come into a low lunge. So low lunge position right here. We're gonna move into our pigeon variation. So lift the toes on that right side, bring the knee under your armpit and bring your foot onto the outside edge of that right foot. So you're in this nice pigeon variation, really feeling it on the outer side of the right hips. Your back knee can be down on the ground if needed, but I like to have mine up. Just hold it here. Keeping this right foot flexed at the ankle. And then bring the knee back under your armpit, back into the low lunge. Left hand on the ground. Use your right arm to bring your belly up and come into that easy twist. Make sure your stance is wide enough because we're going to go into that big twist where we use our core to lift and be in the lunge with the twist. So nice wide stance, strong through the core. And then you're going to come up strong through the core. Breathe, 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 breathe. Bend through that front knee. Hold the twist. Hold it, hold it. One more breath in and out. And back into the twist. And right hand down. Bring the back knee on the ground. Heel toe that right foot in, so you're in your pigeon pose. Again, you can have a block under your right hip this time, if that helps. I'm gonna remove the block. And just hold it here. Sink into the position. Make sure that you're not coming out to the side. You want your hips to be level, your pelvis level, pressing down toward the floor, lifted through the pelvic floor and the low belly, using your core muscles like a seat belt around your back. A lifting seat belt, not ever a pinching in the middle seat belt, because that can make prolapse happen. We don't want that. So we always want to be lifted through the pelvic floor and core, and never just pinching in through the middle or just squeezing the upper abs. Now, if you did on the other side, you can add in the twisting pigeon with your strap or without. So bend the back knee. Right arm is the opposite arm. Comes around, hold on to the outer edge of that foot, thumb up toward the sky to open the chest, and then try to rotate your shoulders and your chest forward rather than rotating all the way around. You want to keep them forward if you can. Feeling that deep stretch, but always lifting through the pelvic floor and low belly. One more breath in and out. If you ever feel pinching or crunching in your low back, then this isn't right for you at this time. So back off. Release that foot and come down into your pigeon pose all the way down onto your elbows or all the way down. Breathe into the back of your lungs, the back of your rib cage. And then come back up carefully. Bend the back knee again. If you did on the other side, use a strap or see if you can work that foot into your elbow crease. So it's a very deep quadricep stretch. Just make sure you're not feeling pinching or crunching in your low back. If you are, then you either need to engage your pelvic floor and core a little bit more, or you need to just back off. You need to release your leg and know that it's just not quite there yet. These stretches are actually very challenging for me. So many people on YouTube have so much more flexibility than I do, but I want to show you that it's possible. You just work toward it. Just take your time, have patience, and you will get there. I'm still not there, whatever that means, but I'm getting closer. And release the foot without slingshotting it down. Remember, you ease back into the downward dog because this right leg, the pigeon leg, has been really working. So stretch it out, bend one knee at a time. And a vinyasa flow of your choice. I like to do a modified vinyasa flow where I'm not doing the full chaturanga and upward facing dog. So if you're with me, you're gonna come forward, you can come down onto your knees. You're gonna come down, straight body like a plank from your knees. Inhale, baby cobra. And then exhale, tuck your toes under, downward dog again. And walk your feet forward. Bend your knees, wing your arms up and down. Deep breath in and out. If you have a tennis ball, I want you to grab it now. So have that to the side. You just need one. We're going to begin with the right leg crossing over your left, like you're crossing your legs, except not all the way. Just like that. Ankle on the thigh. And what you're going to do is you're going to scoot your bum toward your heel until you're really feeling that stretch. For some of you, you may be back here, and that's totally fine. For others, you might be forward. Just no matter what, make sure you're not rounding at your spine. You're long through the spine. So again, scoot forward until you feel that nice stretch. Don't let your shoulders hunch up toward your ears. They're down and relaxed, and your heart is lifted and your spine is long. This in itself is a great stretch, and for what we're about to do, if you want to just stay here and hang out, that is fine. Or if you want a little more, you're going to cradle your leg like a baby, straighten out your opposite leg. So for me, my left leg is straight out in front of me, and I'm cradling my right leg like a baby. Hold it here. Now there is some deep stuff coming up. So if you want to skip any of it, that is totally okay. So we're going to start with this, and we're just going to take this in stages. Cradling your leg like a baby. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you want to work your right arm underneath your cradling leg. So try to bring your shoulder as much as you can under your knee crease, your knee pit is what I call that. So then you're going to hold on to your foot. You can hold on anywhere. I actually like to hold on with my peace fingers to my big toes. Try to keep your pelvis on the ground, your sit bones close to the ground. Your right sit bone will be lifted a little bit, and that's okay, but try to keep it close to the ground. Now just straighten. Use your leg muscles to straighten this leg. A couple times. And you can keep working on just straightening the leg. That's totally fine. Just keep working on that. It's a lot of work, and it's a real interesting feeling. Or if you want to, you can move into a variation of compass pose, where you straighten the leg and you really feel a nice side body stretch in the upper body. So for me, it's this side that I'm looking at right now, my left side. Feel that nice side body stretch, and of course the hamstring stretch in my right leg. Try to get your sitting bones on the floor and try not to be falling forward. Be long through your spine and open through your chest. One more breath in and out. It's a lot. Release. Oh, and if you were just doing the cradling and you're still there and you're thinking, that was crazy, that's okay. We're all meeting back in this cradling position right now. So bend the straight leg so you're in this nice, easy cradle. And if you have the tennis ball, put it under your bottom, your right, for me it's my right butt cheek. Put it under there and just cradle your baby with the tennis ball under your butt cheek. Play around with where it is. You never want to feel a nervy pain or a pinching, but you do want to feel just a delicious massage deep in those buttocks muscles, the hip rotators. Do whatever you need to do to feel this. Play with it. Don't be afraid to play with it. Your own sensations in your body. You know what feels best to you. You know what muscles need to be worked. Don't be afraid to move the tennis ball around. And if you don't have a tennis ball, then you can just be relaxing. All right, remove the tennis ball out to the side, and now fire log pose. We're ready for this. So the left leg, this bottom leg, shin is parallel to the top of the mat. My right leg, I'm stacking it right on top. Now, if it's up like this, that's okay. That's totally okay. I just want you to work on lifting your spine, lifting your heart, making your spine nice and long, and breathing with it. If your knee is able to go down, that's wonderful. Try to get your knee on top of your ankle and your ankle on top of your knee. But don't let this foot crank up. You want to keep your ankle full, like a full moon, this top ankle right here. If you want even more, you can inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, fold forward. But if you are just sitting up straight and tall, that is totally okay as well. So 3 to 4 more nice deep breaths. Straight spine. Again, even if your top knee is up here like that, that's okay. Just try to lift your spine, pressing your hips forward every time. Two more-ish nice deep breaths. Remember, folding forward is an option for those with more flexibility. And come on up. Our last peak pose, our last big pose is right here. We're going to hold on to right foot with both hands, fingers interlaced. Now you can use a strap for this too, hands on a strap, or interlace your fingers, sit square on your sitting bones, lifted through your chest, long through the spine, and then straighten your leg. Maybe it's bent, or maybe you can straighten it all the way. Don't let your back round. You want to be lifted through the spine, holding this deep hamstring stretch. Shoulders down, away from your ears. Don't let this happen. One more breath in and out. And carefully come down. Legs nice and wide. Windshield-Wiper. Your knees down, one at a time, down toward the mat. Maybe even lifting your hips if you have that in you. Lifting your hips. And let's move into the other side. So we begin with a seated pigeon. Left ankle is now on my right thigh. And you want to scoot your bum toward your front heel. Lifted through the spine and heart. Try not to round and hunch through your back. You're lifted and strong. Feeling that stretch. Now, you're going to cradle your foot and shin like a baby. Think about walking. Maybe use your hands on the ground to help walk your sitting bones back toward the back of the room. Long through the spine, cradling like a baby. Maybe you can interlace your hands and maybe not. Either way is totally fine. Now, you can just stay here, cradling this leg like a baby, or you can move on to that sequence that we did that was quite a bit more challenging. So just do whatever you did on the other side, or maybe experiment. Maybe you can do it, try it this time if you didn't try it before, and then the next time you do the video, you can be brave and try it on both sides. So let's go ahead and go for it. If you are doing the more advanced part with me, you bring your left leg over your left shoulder. So it's like you're trying to wriggle your left shoulder underneath your left knee pit. Not an armpit, a knee pit. Now, you're gonna use, I like to use my peace fingers around my big toe, but do what works for you and just play with straightening and bending that leg. So you can stay with this straightening and bending, or you can move into a version of compass pose with me. So you're gonna straighten the leg and try to work your sitting bones both toward the ground. Now, I actually like to usually grab onto the outside of my foot for this when I'm doing the full compass pose. So you can play with what works for you. Maybe it's the toes, maybe it's the outside of your foot. Do whatever works for you. Now, this side for me is a lot tighter. You just want to see what feels good for you in your body. Never any pain, but it is good to challenge yourself, push yourself, and try new things. So I'm feeling a strong stretch in my leg hamstring, and then my right side body. Don't be all falling inward. That's not good for your posture. You want to be open and lifted. And you might surprise yourself by being able to do this if you thought you couldn't. Now, come on down. Carefully, always moving slowly back into that cradling the baby. Grab your tennis ball if you want to. Bend the front knee. And if you have the tennis ball nearby or the yoga ball, you want to put it under your hip, under your buttocks muscles. Wherever it feels good, just put it in the meat of the muscle, the flesh of the muscle, and then you can move it around. You can move by rocking this leg like a baby. You're going to be moving that ball around and really just find the spot where it feels most needed to really get in there. And keep breathing. Try not to slouch through your spine. You still want to be lifted. Maybe move the tennis ball again. And get ready for the fire log pose. So go ahead and remove the ball once you feel even. You want to make sure that your bottom leg is parallel to the front edge of the mat, the top edge of the mat, and then you stack one leg on top of the other. If your top knee is up like this, that's okay. You can always pad it up with yoga blocks or a pillow or bolster. But if you can get it down, that's wonderful. You want knee over ankle, ankle over knee. And you don't want your foot all cranked up like this. You want it to be nice and flexed at the ankle, and you want your top ankle, the one that you can see, to be like a full moon, like a round circle, not like it's all bent up, okay? So holding that position, spine nice and long, shoulders down away from your back. Just breathe. If you have more flexibility, you can walk your hands forward. Keep both feet flexed at the ankles and remember to keep breathing. Now come on up, release yourself out of the stretch. If you were folded forward or if you were up like this, either way is fine. But we're gonna move into that final peak pose. Great hamstring stretch. Use a strap if you need to around your foot, or you can interlace your fingers, hold on underneath your left foot, and then straighten the leg. Don't let your back round and don't let your shoulders hunch up. You want your spine long, sitting up on your sitting bones, and your shoulders down away from your ears. Straightening out that left leg. One more deep breath in and out. And then bend the knee and come on down into that wide foot Windshield-Wiper stretch. Last stretch before Shavasana. We are almost done, you guys. You are going to lie on your back. Use your hands behind your thighs and carefully come down. You never want to just jackknife down. That's not so good for your back or your pelvic floor. We're going to move into a stretch that's great for the quads and also a twist. So left leg nice and long, right knee pulls into the chest, and just hold it here for a moment. I actually think it would feel really nice. I want to add this in right now. Just a quick little stretch. Lifting the leg off the floor so you're feeling a little bit of work in your abdominals too. Be sure that your low abs are pulled in as you straighten that bottom leg, lifting it off the floor. Abs are in to support your back. Don't let your back arch off the floor. And exhale as you switch legs. Feeling a little last blast of core activation and a nice hip stretch. One more time on each side. Doesn't this feel good to end this way? Okay, so now the true end to what we're gonna do is the right knee is to your chest. Just shift your hips to the right a tiny bit, straighten that left leg out again, and then draw the right knee across to the left in a nice twist. Now work the right shoulder down toward the ground. It'll be up a little bit, but try not to be like this. You want to work that right shoulder toward the ground. Belly is pulled in toward your spine. Now you can just stay here, or if you want more, you can walk that left straight leg, the bottom leg, toward the right just a little bit, and then bend the foot and either use a strap around your foot or use your hand and hold onto the foot. So my left hand is holding onto my right thigh, and my right hand here is holding onto my left foot. Work the shoulders toward the ground. You can use a bolster or a block under your top knee. So for me, my right knee, you can use it for support if you'd like. Just relax into it. Try to take any tension out of your neck and your shoulders. And go ahead and come easy, easy, easy out of this. Let's untwist, release that bottom foot. Put the top foot down on the ground. Move into a couple of nice bridges. Little bridge up and down 3 or 4 times to recenter yourself. And then let's straighten the right leg. Left knee to chest. You're going to shift your hips to the left a tiny bit and pull the left knee across your body to the right. Now either stay here working both shoulders down toward the ground, or if you want more, the right leg, the straight bottom leg, comes to the left just a little bit, and then bend at the knee and grab on with a strap around your foot or holding on with your hand to that bottom foot. Work the shoulders down toward the ground. Pelvic floor and core are, it's interesting. It's like your belly is pulling to spine as you exhale and your pelvic floor is lifting. Your core is engaging as you exhale to maybe deepen the twist, but I don't want you to feel like you're hyper turned on and engaged through the core. This is still a relaxing stretch, but you will feel your belly button and your core engaging as you exhale if you want to deepen the twist. One more deep breath in and out. And then release your foot. Unwind yourself. Both feet down on the ground. Lift your hips up and then down. 3 or 4 nice bridges. A couple more times. Squeeze through your bum. Lift your pelvic floor and your hips up toward the ceiling. And then down. Shouldn't be a lot of work, but yet you are activating the glutes. I don't want you to really work too hard at it though, because we're done. I just want you to recenter yourself. So come on down. Straighten your right leg and your left leg. Let your feet and your toes flop out to the side. Roll your legs like logs. If you want to place a bolster or a blanket under your knees, if that helps your back, you can absolutely do that. Place something under your knees. Otherwise, please do not shortchange yourself. Give yourself 1 minute with me right now to just breathe. Sink into the floor, sink into the mat. Imagine that you're at a beach and your body is creating a print in the sand, like a footprint in the sand. But with the back of your body, the back of your head, the back of your shoulders, the backs of your hands, your bottom, your calves, and your heels, leaving an impression in the sand, and just breathe.